Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm back at it again with another video. So Jon Moxley finally goes out of his way to explain his asinine-ass dick rider story. To a degree. Not really. You should probably watch the video of him and Renee Pattycake going over all this, but in particular, there was one excerpt that I wanted to see a complete explanation on, considering the position of the actual title in itself in regards to his prestige. I want to know why Jon Moxley never shows off the AEW World Championship, which obviously is his character, but in reality is AEW and their dumb dick fucking booking decisions to put the title in this kind of position. So like I said, it's probably best if you watch the video first. I'll leave the link down in the description box below. It's Renee Pattycake interviewing him and the rest of the dick riders. But I also found an excerpt if you would like to hear my monotone ass voice right now at the moment. Talk about it for you as if you're listening to an Anne Frank diary narration. Alright, so check this out. And that quote from Jon Moxley. Mind you, this is him talking about the title and the reason as to why it's in the briefcase and why we never see it. He says, "Why do you need to see it? Why do you need to see it? What do you need to see? You want to get a look at it? You want to take a picture of it? Is this a petting zoo? Is that what this is? Why do you need to see it? You don't know anything about it. You don't understand it at any level. You don't understand what a world championship means, what it's about, what it takes to be champion, what it takes to climb a mountain. I am the AEW World Championship." Or I guess he means I am the AEW World Championship, to add a little bit more context to it, because otherwise it sounds like a grammar reading retard actually writing this. I am the living definition of that championship. You want to see it? It's right there. Points at himself. Okay, Diddy. Take a look at it. This is the AEW World Championship. It lives here. It's not something you win. It's not something you hold. It's not something you show off. Okay, Diddy. It's not something you hold up over your head. Diddy. It's not something you post a picture with. It lives in here. It's got to be cultivated, grown, forged in the white hot fires of combat and the white fires of struggle. I'm trying to build 1,000 Jon Moxleys. Oh, don't you threaten me like that. I'm trying to backfill them behind me, Diddy. So I will put them through what I went through and worse. That might not be pretty. That might be ugly. That might be uncomfortable. But that's the only way I know how to do it. That's the only way we know how to do it. That's the only way our generation knows how to do it. Struggle. Dude. What is this Shakespearean gay-ass rhetoric that he's talking right now? Dude, it is professional wrestling. It is not that serious. Just show the fucking World Championship. Wrestle for the World Championship. Have a decent storyline. And stop constantly trying to give us this Shakespearean fucking ass play, bro. See, this right here is a perfect example as the problem with professional wrestling nowadays. Obviously, it's hard to hold WWE to this kind of standard and hold them at least this accountable only from the standpoint that they're not going to course correct just from the words that I'm saying. To be quite frank, I doubt that I know that AEW won't course correct based off the words that I'm saying. But obviously, it's a lot easier to kind of course correct AEW currently at the moment at least versus WWE. They're a lot more malleable, right? And you see shit like this and you ask yourself, what in the actual fuck are you doing? Now, I want to kind of like lump this all together if I can, if you don't mind. Let's see AEW Dynamite for tonight, okay? Let's see the card for tonight, and let's see what they have cooking in the kitchen, shall we? We have Jeff Jarrett versus Claudio Castagnoli, right? If Jeff Jarrett wins, he gets an AEW World Championship match. But you ask yourself, okay, what's the actual, forging of the fires to get to the spot? You know what I mean? The rest of the card is bullshit, but I really want to make that point, right? You got Mercedes Moné and Yuka Saka Maka Naka Maka motherfucker. You got Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage. You got Willa Yuta versus JY. What are they forging? What are the fires being forged? John Moxley, you want to build 1,000 John Moxleys? Well, do you start off at a -1,000, or does a -1,000 also include you because you're John fucking Moxley? What are these fires being forged, sir? Help me understand this. Let's reflect back to the Jeff Jarrett, Claudio Castagnoli stuff, right? So we all understand at the end of the day, this is just a prep to kind of set up Jeff Jarrett versus MJF probably at Revolution, right? We know that this is the path that they want to go down towards, right? But I'm asking, just to get to this point right here where Claudio Castagnoli somehow being the gatekeeper to John Moxley's World Championship, what is the forging of fire being spewed out of your hot-ass dragon breath, sir? Because I'm not understanding what you're coming from when you say things like this, but you do the complete opposite as to what your characters on television are going out of their way to display. You don't have to go through the intricacies of having to tell this complicated-ass story, right? Maybe you should go out of your way to at least have compelling characters first, right? And people are like, Devontae, well, is that what they're doing right now? Wrong you are, you stupid bitch. That's not what they're doing right now. They absolutely are not giving you interesting characters at the moment. Nobody in professional wrestling, for the most part, is giving you something in regards to an interesting character. But we need AEW in particular to give us that in order to combat the boredom that is of WWE, right? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Then let me put some words inside your girlfriend's mouth before I come inside her mouth. Hear me. Understand me. I do this out of love. I do this out of love. Okay? Get the World Championship over John Moxley. Yeah, I said it. That's it. No more words. No more talking. Okay? I don't need to see Edge and John Moxley coming up at Revolution. I don't need to see more of the Dick Ryder story and how it's playing out. You had months. Literal months to get this squared away, and you're still fumbling the bag. You're still fumbling the ball. Okay, you're playing with your dick, asking how the fuck does it become bony, and then all of a sudden the bones go away. I don't have time for this. Get the World Championship off this Nostradamus looking motherfucker. Okay, get Nosferatu out. Get him out of my sight, out of mind, out of sight. I'm tired of him. I'm sick and tired of him. I'm sick and tired of these Looney Tunes and AEW pretending as if now that they have a platform to do whatever they want to do because they can milk a mark for how much money he's actually worth. Now that they have the opportunity to do that, they can coast on their laurels. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. They can make professional wrestling their official fucking playground because they couldn't do none of that shit in WWE, or they weren't good enough to be in WWE. So what you instead do is ruin the only chance we have to actually give WWE a run for its money so it can stop being boring, and you do stupid shit like this. And people are going to probably be like, well, Devontae, let it play out. You know what? You're right. Silly Billy, bitch. I'm such a silly Billy. Why haven't I thought of that? Let AEW, let them play it out. Because letting them play it out has totally worked for them in the past, 5 years or so. I let them play it out going all the way back on October 2nd. I wonder how that played out from the last time I let them play it out, October 2nd, 2019. How did that play out for them? Let's see. Well, it's currently right now, January 29th, 2025. I don't think that's really playing out all too well. I don't want to see John Moxley being world champion anymore. He had his run. He had his fun. Now it's time for him to go into the sun. Preferably, literally, burning up, never to be returned again because he's killing wrestling. I don't know who you could put the World Championship on at this point in time. You know, the sad part about AEW is that they're so focused on not just the wrestling, but being so like mysterious with their stupid ass storylines and their stupid ass characters, things that only resonate with a subsection of the entire audience, when right now you should be getting people prepared to, you know, pretty much branch out there and get people to want to sink their teeth into the core, you know, the core. How do I put this, man? You know what? I know how to put this. Wardlow. That's a perfect example right there. That's who people want to see. A big muscle-bound, fucking dumbass, retarded, jacked up motherfucker going out there taking people's heads off. Powerbombing motherfuckers to infinity and beyond. You know, that's what we want to see. We want to see Will Hobbs fucking taking someone's fucking head off. That's what we want to see. Not this mysterious bullshit going around, you know, cosplaying as a world champion, even though you are a world champion. Fucking trying to do this whole, you know, blurring of lines, mystical fucking bullshit. No one cares about this. No one cares about. They're not over enough to do this, okay? Okay, you're not over enough to do this. It's like an ugly bitch with an ugly attitude. I mean, you gotta pick a struggle, bro. You can't be both. Like, you can't be ugly on the inside and on the outside, right? Only bad bitches can be ugly on the outside, okay? Ugly bitches gotta be the nicest people in the world. And that's what you are right now, bro. You can't be like this, trying to be, you know, fucking compelling in regards to your stupid ass storyline. We need to find Easter eggs. We need to dig deep. No. We need something straightforward, directly in our face. Pause. We need something like that on television, conveying itself constantly. Right now, Jon Moxley ain't it. He's not it. None of your storylines are it. None of your storylines are really hitting like that. You know, to be quite frank, I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's a damn shame how you've actually treated someone like a Wardlow, or how you currently right now at the moment are treating someone like a Will Hobbs, or currently right now how you're treating someone like a Wild Bill Hiccup, because it's sad. You actually have a pretty decent stable of big guys, and not just big guys, because people are going to be like, oh, Devontae, here you go again, man, you sound like the new Vince McMahon to give him massage rubs to all those big guys' shoulders. All I'm saying is that these guys at the very least display something that none of these morons constantly have at the moment, or consistently should be having at the moment, and that's actual God-given charisma. You know what charisma is? What you guys say nowadays, the Riz. You know, that actual star look, that it factor. Some stars have it, some stars don't have it, but it seems like when you have it in AEW, they want to take it away from you because you have it. And it seems like guys who make it through the business, they don't have it. So they have to go through the struggle of finding it. And guess what? They pretend to have it, but in reality, the only it are the people in their audience, because they are not he's or she's, they are not theys, they are not thems, they are its, they are creatures. And they sit back and they have to look in the mirror and see that, ew, that's me, ew, why is that me? Oh, God, can my reflection be different? And these morons feel that it's their necessity to take that it in the reflection and then try to, you know, use it as a way to, you know, make your life a living hell because, well, they don't look like Wardlow. They don't look like Will Hobbs. You know, they don't look like any of these people. They look like Adam Cole. You know, they look like Darby Allin. They look like Sammy Guevara. Pick any small guy who has no business being in the wrestling ring at this moment, and essentially that's what they are. You know, they're backyardigans. You know, they're weaklings. They're simps. They're losers. They're geeks. They're all these things. And the thing is, they lack a character. Because one could probably say, oh, you can kind of look at MJF the same way. At least MJF has muscle mass. You know, at least MJF actually has a character. At least MJF has a talent outside of just the actual wrestling aspect. None of these morons have that. That's the it. That's the it. And honestly, you know, MJF, he only at least comes across to this audience in the way that he comes across because, well, unfortunately, sometimes you just can't hold talent down underneath that well if it actually is that well preserved, right? You know, you got a guy like MJF who can actually talk in the microphone. That's going to shine a little bit brighter compared to the rest of the peons out there who probably can't do neither. at least agreeable upon the it people in the audience, and therefore they fall to wayside. But it's a broader point. It's a broader point that I'm making. You have people that you could put the World Championship on, that you could formulate a kayfabe story around that actually makes sense. None of this blurring the line bullshit like Jon Moxley's currently doing at the moment that ain't resonating with any fucking body, but actually cultivating a legitimate storyline, kayfabe-wise, putting the World Championship on one of these two motherfuckers right here and giving it to us fucking retard style. I'm a retard, okay? I want you to actually make it easier for me to understand. I am a retard, okay? A big, fat fucking dirt. Make it easy for me to understand. I'm not here trying to sit back, trying to understand the intricacies of what Jon Moxley is trying to put across. I'm not here trying to understand what Jon Moxley wants me to understand from him. No, I don't have time for your stupid influences or the shit that you're pulling out of your asshole that you forgot to wipe. I want you to dumb it down for me. You know what I actually heard also? I actually heard that Tony Khan actually has made his way into creative. Now, I'm not sure how true that is. I mean, it makes sense. You know, for some reason, Tony Khan probably believes that he's the mastermind. He's the only guy. He's like the Billy Corgan of professional wrestling. Well, I mean, Billy Corgan is in professional wrestling, but Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins in professional wrestling, where he feels that the only way to get something done, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta sink your teeth into everything in order to make sure it's done right. The only problem is, it doesn't really seem like that's all too much working very well, right? It feels like you throw shit to the wall to see whether or not it sticks, and it feels like you're throwing Jon Moxley to the wall at the moment. Can you peel him off the wall, Tony? Can you throw him in the trash can while you're at it? Can you put the lid on there? Can you throw it outside? And can you have the dumpster guys throw him inside there? Hopefully, possibly, maybe put him in the incinerator. Never to be seen again. Take those ashes, sweep them, let them blend in with the particles in the air and the atoms, and make sure that he's never, ever, ever, ever in the presence of wrestling ever again. Do that for us. Oh, you're not? Then what the fuck is the point of you being anywhere near anything in regards to creative at the moment? What are you bringing to the table, Tony? What are you applying, huh? What are you taking away? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. And it's sad too, because as I'm talking right now, I could do two things at once, three things if you include my right hand. I'm thinking to myself right now, who are capable world champions right now in AEW? You can hate WWE as much as you want. At the very least, you can see at least 5 or 6 different caliber wrestlers that you can feasibly and plausibly put the world championship on at the moment, right? Whether it's Cody's title or Gunther's Intercontinental Championship belt that he claims to be a World Heavyweight Championship. Either one, you can find somebody. AEW, quite frankly, I don't know who. No one really seems as if they're compelling enough to carry anything at the moment. Everybody looks weak as fuck. Nobody has any momentum. Seriously, I got a better question for you. You got Edge and Jon Moxley most likely going to Revolution, right? Let's just hypothetically say Edge's leg was broken. Still broken, right? Let's just say that his dumbass got in the ring and he thought to himself, well, these young whippersnappers in their 450s, maybe I should do myself a 452, break my right leg. What if he were to do something stupid building up to this match and he's gone? Who do you have to replace Edge? Theoretically, who do you really have to replace Edge? I mean, you got so desperate, you put fucking Orange Cassidy in the match with Jon Moxley. That's how fucking desperate you were. Who do you really have to replace Edge that's compelling now? People go, oh, Devontae. I mean, they still got well off the bray. They got well off the bray. Devontae, Kenny Omega. Be real. Somebody actually compelling. Not just to your AEW fan base. Compelling. Fuck all. At least Jon Moxley's from WWE. That's the most you got out of him. Who do you really have to carry the ball? It almost feels like you wouldn't put the belt on Will Ospreay because you just don't want him to be exposed as not being a draw and people having to criticize you as far as the money you're spending on him. I'm not stupid. I know that's why you're not putting the belt on Will Ospreay. It's not because they're trying to time it. It's because you're too much of a pussy to put the belt on him. You like Will Ospreay. You're a fanboy of him. You don't want to be able to put the world championship on him and having to face the fact that, it seems like he's not really a draw and it feels like he's only a draw to your actual audience. Why are you spending so much money on guys who aren't really compelling? Why are you spending money on guys who are not really a fucking draw, Tony?
Well, it's because I'm a mark. And reality Dave Meltzer told me to spend only 50. He told me to spend the entire world's economy on Will Ospreay because he told me that his dick tastes good and I need to owe him.
All I'm asking for is for reasons. I gave Jon Moxley a chance. He fucking sucks. Time for him to go the way of the wind. Time for him to go away. The only problem is he can't. Because he's the best of a horrible situation. And the horrible situation is that you don't have anybody in play right now to really carry that world championship. Sad part. Even more sadder when you understand that world championship legitimately is the worst world championship that a major company has ever displayed in the history of the wrestling business. Has no prestige to it whatsoever. Always mid-carding. Only main eventing when the pay-per-views come around because world is in the championship name. Therefore, it in itself is going to be over. That's not how it works, buddy. It's not how it works, Tony. It's not how it works, boyo. That's not how it works. Okay? World championship doesn't make the man. The man makes the world championship. The man makes the world championship. Still haven't learned yet. Oh, but you will. Sooner rather than later. You will. Doesn't hit you now. Trust me. A 400k pound weight. It's going to be landing on your neck sooner rather than later. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae. And I'll be back later on tonight for another AEW Dynamite review. A deuces and a P. Ice.